Okay, good morning, Michelle here. I thought it would be nice if we did a little nature scavenger hunt today. So we're out in the woods. Some of you might have had this identification sheet in your packs last week. So what we're going to do, we're going to go for a little scavenger hunt in the woods. So off we go. We'll see what we can find. So on my sheet is a green leaf. So let's have a little look. Let's see what we can find first. Okay, so over here we've got some nice green leaves, got some beautiful lime leaves here. Now the lime tree, when the leaves are young, you can actually eat them. They're not that tasty, but you can actually eat them. So this is a beautiful lime tree. Okay, it's just sticking out there across the path a little bit. And next to it we have we've got a silver birch. Let's see. See if I can get to one of the leaves on the silver birch. They're quite high up, so I'll just show you the leaves. There you go. So that's the first thing on my list. The next thing is a brown leaf. So, right. Might have to have a little look on the floor for this. It'll be one that's dropped off and has been settling on the floor for a while. So there we go. There's our brown leaf. There we go. So that has fallen off this sycamore tree, which is right above my head here. Okay. Now I'm round Low Hall Park, Low Hall Nature Reserve, and as you go round there's lots of nice little things. So there's lots of little fairy doors. So let's have a little look here. See them little fairy doors there? Quite cute, aren't they? And we'll carry on our walk now. Okay, so the next thing we're looking for is animal footprints. Now because it's been so dry lately, we'll have to try and find a little muddy patch somewhere for them. So we'll carry on and we'll see if we can find the next thing on our list. As we walk along, we can see lots of interesting things. We've got dock leaves. So this is a dock leaf. Can you see that there? Okay. And usually by the dock leaves we can find the nettles. Okay, now the nettles, the Latin name for a nettle is Urtica dioicea, and this is a nettle here. Now the reason why they sting you is because they've got tiny little hairs and they're filled with formic acid. When they brush against your skin, they break off, and that's how they cause the itching and the lumps on your hands or your legs usually when you're on a bike ride, and they really hurt. So it's a bit of an old wives' tale, but if you get a dock leaf and you scrunch it up, get all the juices, so you must scrunch it till the juices are coming out and then rub it on. Okay, this is supposed to make your nettle stings better. Okay, I think it's all in the mind. It does work though with a little bit of soothing juice on there to cool it down. So you can hear the birds singing, lots of birds singing, and as we go along we'll have a look for some other things on our list. The sun's shining, it's absolutely gorgeous today. Okay. Let's see what's next. Oh, okay. So we've got lots of nice things as we walk along at the side of the path. Okay. So here you can see some brambles. Now the brambles are in full flower at the minute, and once they've flowered, moving on towards the end of summer, you will get the nice berries. You'll get blackberries. You can make jam with it and pies and stuff like that. Really tasty. So at the minute they are in full flower, and usually you can see little insects in them as well. There's a tiny little insect there. Can you see it? Just moving around on the leaf. Yeah? So that could tick off the next thing on my list for an insect as well, couldn't it? Because it was a very small beetle, but we'll see if we can find anything else as we're walking along. Alright, so let's see what we can find. Okay, so we're just passing some more nice juicy nettles for the caterpillars to feed on. And we'll just slow down a little bit here. Okay, so over here we can see some hawthorn. I'll just show you the leaf on the hawthorn. Okay. Now this is known as bread and cheese as well, because the children used to eat it. They used to eat the leaves. They said it tasted like bread and cheese, but I really don't think it does. It's quite bitter in its taste. And also, you get the red berries on the hawthorn tree. They're called haws, and you can actually mix them up and make like a little conserve to put in at the side of meat, stuff like that. So it's not sweet as a jam, but it does make a nice little accompaniment to your fresh meats or a roast dinner. You need to add a lot of sugar though, because it is quite bitter. We'll see what else we can find as we go along this path. Oh, there's some nice vetch. So this is called vetch. See all the leaves are the opposite on the stem there, and it wraps itself around things as well. Look, it has these little tiny bits here that wrap around and tangle round to grow, and it has a beautiful little purple flower there going up. So that's purple vetch. We'll see what else we can find. Got lots of willow trees here as well. So remember when we do your basket making and your willow platters? Well, that's made out of a type of willow. So it's growing quite a lot over on Low Hall Nature Reserve, because around near the pond it's quite wet. So that means you're going to get a lot of species, a lot of trees that like the damp and the wet. And here we have an oak tree. Look at the leaves on the oak tree. There we go. So the oak tree, this is where we get our acorns from. And the squirrels like to bury the acorns, and sometimes they forget about where they've buried the acorns, and that's how you get little young oak trees shooting up around the place, and then they start to grow and they form a massive big tree like that. Look at the size of that. Huge. The oak tree has little tiny galls on it sometimes, so we'll just see if we can find any galls. And inside them is a gall wasp. Now they're not the big wasps that we see that come along and sting you. They're a very, very small wasp, and they bite their way out of the gall when they're big enough, and they leave a hole in it. If you wait till the winter and you look in the gall, it's like a little brown, looks like a little brown marble. Some of them look like knobbly as well, but the little brown ones, if you wait till winter till there's a hole in them, that means the wasp has managed to bite its way out and fly off. And also you can crush them. And the oak tree, the acorns, they have something in called a tannin. So if you crush an acorn and it's brown, crush the acorn in water, then you can actually make an ink to write with. So acorns are really useful because they provide food, and you can use them for other things as well. You can actually use them to soften leather shoes and things like that. So they were used in the tanning industry, so that when the animal skins were really tough, they used to soak them in tannins, and it would break down all the enzymes in the meat, in the flesh of the animal, the skin, and make it nice and soft enough for you to use to make shoes and leather sofas and things like that. So the oak tree is really, really important as well, because thousands of insects can live on an oak tree and feed on the oak tree, and then the birds can come along and eat the insects. So it's a really important tree in nature, the oak tree. And there's a little saying as well, it's to do with the oak tree and the ash tree. So it's to do with if the leaves come out first, and it's oak before ash, you're in for a splash. Ash before oak, you're in for a soak. And I think the oak leaves came out first this year. So oak before ash, you're in for a splash. So we'll head round this way. I can see some nice fruit trees as well. I think somebody's planted some apple trees over there. And don't know if you can quite see them. But the apple trees will be really good for the birds to feed off, and also for us as well. We can go picking fruit. We could come over here to pick some fruit when it's ripe in the autumn. So around September time, when those apples are ripe, maybe we could all come over for a walk and pick some apples, bring the apple press and have some fresh juice. So we'll carry on a little bit further. Got lots of nettles and brambles around, loads of dock leaves, lots of interesting things. Loads of nice grasses as well. Look at all the different types of grasses here. Can you see them? Beautiful. And I've spotted something over here, so we're just going to climb through the long grass now to get across to it. That's it. Oh gosh. We'll climb across here. Right, so we've got, in the middle here, we've got an alder tree. Something's been nibbling at the leaves, I don't think. Well, I think it's had an alder beetle on it. So the alder beetles like to munch on the leaves. And that's how they get holes in. They look like a leaf skeleton then. So let's see what else is knocking around. Just have a quick look on my list. Oh, it's asking to see if I can find. Oh, right, so tree stump, a branch with a U shape. So we call them V branches or V sticks because we use them in den building. So we'll see if we can find anything. Let's have a look. Let's see. So this is another alder here. Let's see if we can spot a little beetle. Oh, can you see that on there? Let's have a look. You can probably see it. And can you see how it's been munching on the leaves there? Look at that leaf there. And if you look more closely onto this one, look at all the larvae on there. Can you see those little insects there? Getting ready to get bigger. They're all over the leaves. And they're munching their way through the leaves there. So it won't do it any harm really. I mean, it's just taking out a few of the leaves. It's not eating too many. But they can munch their way through quite a lot of leaves. So that's why you see the holes in the alder leaves, and they're called an alder beetle. So we'll just see what else we can find as well. Let's keep going. Lots of alders. It is quite a wet site over here, so you've got trees that like the damp as well. That's it. So what we'll do now, we'll head into the woods a little bit here, see if we can find some of our V sticks. Right, might have to have a search. This is where Jeff found his journey stick last week. Have a look. See if there's any V sticks. Right, so I've found a fallen tree. Yeah, somebody started to make a little den there. And there's my tree stump, you see? And a hole in the tree there. There's lots of sticks on the floor here. So we'll just have a little look, see if we can find a V stick. Right, so we could use this branch here and we could cut it off there. That would make a nice V stick, wouldn't it? Remember when we do our den building and we use our V-sticks? So that's our V-stick. It's saying, can we find some rocks as well? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Can't see any rocks, but what I have found is, I've actually found some giant rocks. Let's have a look, see if you can see them in the background. Look at the size of them rocks. So they're standing stones, like at Stonehenge. Or if you go up to Scotland, and you can see lots of standing stones in Scotland and in Wales. So they're, I'll pretend they're my rocks. I'll have them as my rocks. And the next thing I need to find, oh, is some flowers. Right, let's have a quick look, see if we can find any flowers. Anything will do. Buttercups. Oh, I found one buttercup there. Let's have a look. So, a little buttercup there. That's it. And bramble flowers as well. They're quite pretty, aren't they? Yeah. And I know we all think of flowers as being big bright colours and everything, but the grasses are flowering as well at this moment in time. So there's lots of different grasses as well. See them? Yeah. So we're nearly back at the beginning now. So what we'll do, we'll go back round to the beginning. And the last thing we're looking for is a fern, and I've just spotted some. So there you go. There were actually large ferns around at the time of the dinosaurs as well, so they would have been much, much bigger than this. There's lots of beautiful ferns. So here we are at the end of the walk. We've had a good look around the woods, and we've seen lots of exciting things today. The birds are singing, all the flowers are out, the trees are in full leaf. So get yourself out there, get back to nature, and see if you can find something interesting today. Take care.